We ain't even that big.
You got fucking shit.
Champ, you're on the same side of the street, Dad.
I don't get that bad.
What's going on, you guys? So, Shakur Stevenson, one of the most talented young fighters in the sport of boxing today, as we all know, got a fight coming up with Oscar Valdez. Shakur Stevenson is a very confident and talented fighter, to say the very least. He has quite a few things to say, and it seems like Shakur tries to be controversial on purpose. You know, he came out with his pound-for-pound list that raised a lot of questions as to why he has his list the way he has it. Things of that nature, right? He had himself as number 1 pound-for-pound, Terrence Kumite Crawford number 2, and I believe he had Canelo Alvarez number 3. But nonetheless, Shakur Stevenson, supremely talented young fighter, possibly one of the best young fighters in the sport of boxing today. The fight with Oscar Valdez will be the beginning of the fight with Oscar Valdez will be the beginning of a long reign, in my opinion. But Oscar Valdez isn't going to be going into this fight laying down. He hasn't been saying too much, and Canelo Alvarez came out and said that he has Oscar Valdez beating Shakur Stevenson. And of course, Canelo Alvarez is going to always ride with his stablemate. Why would he come out and say anything different? But Oscar Valdez is going to be coming in at the best he can, in top form, and well prepared to deal with whatever Shakur Stevenson brings. Now, will he be able to deal with whatever Shakur Stevenson brings? We're going to have to see April 30th. But most fans will tend to believe that Shakur Stevenson is going to have a relatively easy night against Oscar Valdez. And it's not to say that Oscar Valdez is a paper champion or a fake champion or a guy that doesn't deserve a belt. It's just that Shakur Stevenson is just that damn good. And in the fights we've seen leading up to this point, Shakur Stevenson, his punch stats is ridiculous, right? Dudes can't hit the guy with confetti. You really can't do much with the guy. In my opinion, fighters like Shakur Stevenson are very dangerous fighters. And you're probably thinking, like, what you mean by that, Bushido? He's not really necessarily knocking guys out like the Bronze Bomber was doing. And so what you mean by that? Guys like Shakur Stevenson can beat you from pillar to post, right? Pillar to post. You won't be able to touch them. Those type of guys that can land on you without you landing on them, nightmare, right? Not to mention, if you get schooled for a full 12 rounds, right? Get your ass kicked for a full 12 rounds, you go remember that ass kicking. Versus you getting knocked out within a few rounds, you won't remember what happened, right? But when you fighting a guy like Shakur Stevenson who's going to be sitting there stinging you for 12 rounds, you go remember that. And it may fuck you up as a fighter. It may mess you up to the point where you're gun-shying fights. You don't really have that confidence anymore because you over here swinging at a guy and you can't hit him. So you may end up and if you do continue your career, right, if you do continue moving on, you may tend to stay away from those type of fighters. The more defensively sound guys, you may tend to stay away from those dudes because they gonna make you look bad, right? And you will remember that. We seen what happened with Canelo Alvarez when he fought the slicker guys, Adesanya Lara, Floyd Mayweather. He tends to stay away from those guys nowadays, right? And for good reason. Shakur Stevenson is all that in a bag of chips, right? Supremely talented. Should be a really good fight. April 30th is going down. We're going to see if Shakur Stevenson can get the job done. We're going to see if Shakur Stevenson can do to Oscar Valdez what he's been doing to everybody else. And if he does this to Oscar Valdez, then I think the sky's the limit for Shakur Stevenson. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.